a student athlete. Yeah, I ain't.
It's messed up, man. Which is why we lead these conversations of why is Iowa losing to Purdue?
You know what I'm saying?
Like, dang, they can't struggle now 1 week.
Said get a nigga off the practice squad.
Don't count, bro. Bro came in, went dummy.
Say something into the mic.
Yo.
Yeah, I can still hear
Yeah.
you. I'm not gonna wear my headphones today, but I can still hear y'all.
He said, I can't mess up the hair.
Nigga.
Say, man, you know how long it took?
Nigga.
Not going.
You know how hard it is to sleep without putting your head on the on the headrest?
Like on Friday with Chris.
I was like this, bro. My arm kept falling. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wake up. You got it.
This
got
ain't it.
I got enough sleep. Let's go. Jackson State just scored.
I need to check on TSU, see how my HBCU been doing. Are we live?
I don't know.
No?
They usually come and count it down. Oh, we
Jordan's. Jordan's phone.
Nah, I'm just saying you can hear the phone, but
Oh, I didn't know. Are we ready?
I'm just listening. Yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jackson State.
Y'all finna be number 25.
Who?
Florida.
Are they? They lost.
We finna fall out to 25.
Where were y'all?
20.
Y'all were 20?
Yeah, we dropped 10 spots when we lost to Kentucky.
Yeah, y'all finna be on rank, big guy.
I don't even know how we dropped 10 spots when we lost to
It was
Kentucky.
the part 2. Y'all should
I-
have. I should have dropped that if y'all played us, but y'all stayed still.
Sheesh.
Yeah. I don't know,
Nah,
because
y'all
that just
might
shows
not.
they didn't respect Kentucky. All right, because now they're like 11, but if we dropped all the way to 10, I mean to 20, I don't know, man. We trash, bro. I mean, and it's not, and we're not even trash. That's
I mean, I tried.
Yeah,
we have the talent to beat
Yeah,
anybody. I think
man.
we're poorly coached, bro.
Everybody
Execution
in
is
that
horrible.
Talent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like our execution is horrible. It's real. It's hard to watch. I really am sad, man.
Nah, you trash.
I really am sad.
And you know, I wonder if there's a way we can see the comments. Cause niggas we be streaming, but I be like last week I commented, but y'all niggas can't see it because it's on the other side.
Unless you have like a prompter type thing, you can see them coming in. You know, you should add like live questions when we in here. People, I want to ask the Not Enough Sports Podcast group, how do you feel about such and such? You know, clever things.
That was round 3. Wow, they got knocked out, wasn't it?
Like to end the fight?
Nah, he got knocked out. He got knocked down in
Round 3.
yeah, round 3, and then Fury got knocked down twice in the same round. Pretty good fight.
Man, that fight pissed me off, bro.
Deontay Wilder said, that nigga's just a better fighter. That nigga Deontay Wilder said, I do not respect you.
No love, no respect. Tyson Fury's like, I don't know why he hates me.
Hey, man. Tyson Fury really funny as fuck, low-key.
He said, I knocked you down 4, you knocked me down 3. It was a good heavyweight bout.
I don't like that getting knocked down shit.
Nah, I do feel. Nah, I'm gonna just wait till we get to that.
I'm not gonna give you that take.
I'm gonna count. I think we are ready. Who phone is that? Is that mine or yours? Just
Mine's on the ground. So.
Jordan's phone.
Let me see. We still think.
Sound like somebody cutting grass. Jordan, you saying fuck our ears, huh? You don't hear that, nigga?
Dude. I'm just trying to watch the game.
Fuck your ears.
Bruh, sit it up on the boat. Drive the boat, nigga.
Facts.
He wanna get canceled. Oh, the baby ass nigga.
Are we ready?
I don't know.
Oh, sheesh.
No.
Might just two-piece me. While we wait, I can take a piss.
And now's the time. What are we calling this episode?
I can't believe Kentucky forced a fumble.
Homecoming season, because it's homecoming season.
Get something more clever.
Homecoming season? Not clever?
Oh man, that seems pretty straight to the point.
Let's see. Isn't that what we do here on Not Another Sports Podcast? This comment froze me. I don't know what to say yet. They suck.
Right.
Spider-Man.
Where did the pick the ending come from today?
The chat.
Dude in his lost files.
And we're on you.
So me? You ready? Hello and welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Not Another Sports Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon. I'm here with my co-hosts, Kevin and Jordan.
Yo, what's up? This is Kevin.
Yeah, and this is Jordan.
Yes, sir, and we back. You remember how we always start things off here? We're going to start with something positive. My something positive for this week is I'm back. Had to take a couple weeks off, handle some business, but that's why we are a team.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, show must go on. But what y'all got for this week?
Hot Mamba is doing well streaming wise.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to all the supporters.
Yes, sir.
And I've been spending just a lot more time with my son, even though I've been really busy trying to get things in order. I've been spending a lot more time with my son and getting that quality time in, which is really, really fun for me.
Yes,
sir. For me, my positive, the Braves won the NLDS, beat the Brewers 3-1. We pitched well in the whole series, got timely hitting, and we played the Dodgers. So it's gonna be a good series.
Get money.
Unless the league,
Yeah, hopefully it don't come down to no replays or checks, call swings, or We just gonna score a lot of runs, so we can't leave it up to the umpire.
No cap. Also, shout out to Candace Parker. She's up 2-1 in the final.
Yes, sir.
No cap.
Well, somewhat of a shout out because me and Jordan watched the game the other day. You got to be more assertive. Got to be more assertive.
She's a little bit more assertive in game 3.
I give her
But
that.
they also didn't have Brittany Griner and guarding her. She must have gotten in foul trouble.
She wasn't guarding her in game 2 when she wasn't taking the ball when she wasn't calling for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
I mean, but you up 2-1. What, you got to win one more game?
Mm-hmm.
I think they can get the job done. I think this will probably be her last season anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And it's at home, too. You want to walk off at home. Nobody else want to go back on the road. With that being said, we're going to kick it off with the weekly recap. John Gruden got fired. He got
quit.
He got fired. he was forced to resign because some old emails came up from 2010 to 2018 where he basically hit every minority group: women, black people, LGBTQRS people. That's it. Hey man, John Gruden is a wild boy, man. My thing is, I feel like the NFL basically sacrificed him because there's no way with how much? What was the number? 65,000 or something like that.
650.
Yeah, 650,000 emails. If he felt comfortable enough to talk to somebody like that, what were they saying back? But whatever. Yeah. How y'all feel about what John Gruden said?
It doesn't really surprise me. I feel like pretty much everybody got that feeling from John Gruden. It's not like he just seems like the cool person that you would want to hang around all the time. So it doesn't really surprise me. I guess the quote unquote surprising part would be the fact that he was dumb enough to send that to somebody in an email. Especially when things are traceable. And I'm more than sure he knew that it was his work email. So that makes it that much dumber. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
The thing that killed me is he was like, I don't have a racist bone in my body, but you felt comfortable enough to say that. This is how you felt when you get upset. So, people... My sister used to say it to me all the time. The two people who will tell you the truth are drunk people and mad people. So you were mad, and this is what you went to.
Okay. And then he tried, like, when they was asking him about it, he said, I've answered it enough. I'm done talking about it. No,
never really apologized. You just said, basically, to the Raider Nation, I don't want to be a distraction. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he did say, I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone. But... You done?
Come on, bro.
No. Okay. He said he didn't mean to hurt anyone, but you did. I mean,
right.
When you say Roger Goodell shouldn't pressure Jeff Fisher at the time, the coach for the Rams, not to hire queers or to draft queers, you're trying to hurt a group, you know? Like, that's a group of people, their orientation has nothing to do with their ability to play football. Right. You know, Carr Nassib is a very good football player right now. Came out as gay earlier before the season. Michael Sam, during that time, coming into the league, was a good player. He was co-defensive player for Missouri, coming fresh into the SEC during that time.
SEC player again?
Yes, like handling his own. So, like, I don't think that has anything to do with your ability to play football. So you saying you're not wanting to hurt anyone, that's a lie right there. Then you go to the women saying women shouldn't be able to referee games. That doesn't make any sense. Women should. There's a bunch of women that know football. Our very own Penny knows football.
Okay.
Come in here and handle her own just like that, you know. There's a lot of women on Fox and ESPN that goes and have a lot of knowledgeable points about football. So I don't think that's okay to say.
Every sideline reporter I've ever seen has been a woman. That's all. You know?
Yep. And then you go down, get to the real part for me. You get to the part where you say you don't have a racist bone in your body, but then you criticizing the Demaris Smith lips and stuff. And if you know anything about black people, talking about their lips and their noses and stuff like that is automatic racism right there.
Okay.
Because where do you think that stuff comes from? That's just not no big lip joke. Like, no, that's very personal. That's very racist. That's very racist. And then you don't want to hurt people and you not racist, but yet you in the email saying Eric Reed shouldn't have a job, which means you don't support the movement that Colin Kaepernick and those other players that followed were supporting. You are one of those old white people who still thinks that, kneeling is a sign of disrespect to the military and all of that good stuff and the disservices of the veterans, which is completely inaccurate, especially when MFers get on Instagram or they platforms and tell you specifically what they're protesting. But you're going to tell them what they're not protesting. You're come out because you want to build a narrative because you're racist. So should his emails been documented like that, and should he have been singled out like that? No, because I feel like that was just an easy way.
And
he also
working for the NFL.
I was just about to say, also keep in mind that he was an ESPN analyst at the time, and he could have got fired from ESPN for this, but he wasn't a coach. And at that time, if you remember, he was doing Monday Night Football, and he was adamant that he was never coaching in the league again. He was not trying to coach. Maybe because he knew who he was, you know. And then lastly, I end with the owner. The owner didn't say anything to defend John Gruden or to knock down the accusations. And what I mean by that is, like, he didn't stand up for what, John Gruden said and was like, this is unacceptable and stuff like that, which shows a lot about these owners, which, a couple owners says things about plantations and not letting people run in asylums and stuff like that. The owners think much of John Gruden, think just like John Gruden. Those emails just singled out John Gruden. And I think if you expose all of them, you're going to see, like, the whole league is like that, really. It's not just John Gruden. And for the owner to be like, the NFL has all the answers or something like that. He said something like that. Someone else have all the answers. Like, you don't go ask them or something like that. It's like, you don't care about anything he said. You don't care about nobody being offended. You didn't protect or, back up any of your players that might been under those situations. And it feels like you just basically said, I didn't want to fire him. I think Stephen A. Smith said this as well. Like, it's like, you didn't want to fire him. You just like, well,
you thought it was gonna blow over.
Yeah, since I got to now, let's just end it right now. I don't want to fire you, my dog, but this is just gonna be too annoying, and let's not even go this route. You know what I'm saying? When you said the racist stuff like that, I ain't care, bro. But you done said things about the gay community and women. That goes above everything. Now I gotta let you go now. And that's how it sounded.
Remember, the first set of emails came out that Friday. He still coached Sunday. Mm-hmm. And then the other set, there was some more that came out either Sunday night or Monday. Right. That's why he got fired.
And some of his players tried to defend him.
Right.
Which is
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Derek Carr was one of them.
Okay. Penny asked a good question. Why is it that when black people have an issue, we're told that we have to wait until more facts come out? But basically, when everything else came out, there was immediate backlash.
Because they're not in the boys' club. They're not in the boys' club. They're going to protect their own till they have absolutely no choice but to protect them. But to, go the other way. I think it's unfortunate. They said Antonio Brown was right. He did call John Gruden a racist. Keyshawn Johnson, I remember he said something about him when he did get the job with Oakland, but he was the only one who's ever said something bad until Antonio Brown said something. It's just crazy how that all unfolded. But shout out to the Chargers coach for actually getting up and dismissing all of that. It shows that somebody actually cares about what other people's feelings are. Not just dismissing it. And that's not even his team and situation to even speak on.
Yeah. He still was going to get asked about it.
Yeah, but he didn't have to answer. He could have been like, that has nothing to do with the Los Angeles Chargers. It's unfortunate, but he went out there and gave a really heartfelt message. Like, he dismissed it all. So that's cool. You don't see that from other people, They try to just get away of really answering the question.
Well, moving right along, Jordan alluded to it earlier. Baseball playoffs, the NLCS starts tonight, but the Braves went 3-1 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3-1. Did the Astros sweep or did Chicago win?
They won 4-1. I mean 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. And the Dodgers won 3-2. The Red Sox won 3-1 as well. But I think the Astros are going to, and moving on to the championship series, I think the Astros are going to beat the Red Sox. It depends on, I know this time of year is when weather comes into play, especially. It's not going to affect our series as much, but that series having to go from Houston and having to play in Boston, some of those Boston games, the weather is going to be a deciding factor. It's going to make the ball harder to grip, and hitting. It makes hitting harder for some reason. Baseball is a summer sport anyway. Nobody really wants to be playing baseball in the fall or early spring. So, but yeah, how y'all feel about I got the Astros and the Braves. So
the Astros gonna cheat their way to the World Series again?
They don't have to cheat no more. I was telling Jordan this yesterday.
Just accused not too long ago.
I was telling Jordan this yesterday. If they still make it to the World Series after all this, you really can't say nothing because sign stealing as far as like if somebody's at second base and they catch up to what the signs is, that's part of the game.
But wasn't that what they was accused of? Like
they were using technology to do it.
No, I'm saying like Dusty Baker just said something about heavy allegations because someone said like I think it couldn't be this series. It was last series, I believe.
The White Sox.
Yeah, and he was
he said they have a history of that. So.
Yeah. And he's like, those are heavy.
Who's not saying that? Literally everybody who talks about the Astros said that.
Right.
But then I'm just saying, like, I just didn't like the response from Dusty because you're like, those are heavy allegations. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is what y'all do. Like, this is something that's already proven that y'all do. So it's not heavy. It's not, it's just always that thought that they could be out there cheating. I just don't like that,
I like Dusty Baker. I wanted him to win a championship in either Cincinnati or Chicago, but I don't think.
Or San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, he was in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Just not in Houston, my guy.
I mean, he can get there. I don't care about him getting there. And how y'all feel about the playoffs?
It's been good so far. I feel like a lot of the talk has been about replay.
Come on, man.
But I feel like that's baseball's thing. Like they want it to be as trash as possible. Like that's why they drug their feet on putting replay in. That's why you can barely review anything. They don't want you to be able to do it.
They made the game long though.
I mean, but would you rather the game be long and right or long and wrong?
I mean, but people go
if they going to New York, I don't understand why it takes so long. Like it takes forever and they still be wrong. That's the thing I don't understand. Like what's the football replays don't take that long and they still have to go. They have to listen to somebody else. They're not actually reviewing the play on the field. They're basically a replay referee. He reviews it and then he tells them what the call to be. I don't understand why it takes so long in baseball when they're doing the exact same thing.
And a lot of it is over home runs type plays, right? Usually
don't know
if it's bouncing in, bouncing out, touching the top.
One of them was whether a ball was caught or not, and then another one was whether batter check swung or not.
Oh, the Giants do it. Yeah, that check swing call is so inconsistent, man.
Yeah, I feel like that should be reviewable.
Yeah.
Or you should just make it, if you check, I mean, you can't even really put that, like, if it's a check swing, it's automatic strike. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, because.
Then there's no such thing as a check swing then.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, because it has to be some way, so you can get more, like, consistent calls on that. Because it's like, what is a check swing?
If you don't break the plane of the, what's it called, the plate.
Like, you can go up and you know how the plate got the front part that's straight. You can go all the way up into that, but if it crosses that, then it's considered a swing. And they usually, whenever there's a check swing situation, 9 times out of 10, the home plate umpire is gonna check with one of the base umpires because he's like, "But I'm trying to make sure that's a strike or not. You got me looking at too much. Get that call out my hands."
I never understood that part. I never had to be in a situation where a check swing was either. So I was like,
it's different in like every other league except professional, because there's always one other umpire, so it's harder to see it. But like in the majors, they got in all professionals they got umpires at every base, so you can he has less responsibility to worry about, I guess.
I mean, it's been good. I feel like we have to win game 1 for us to have like a real shot in this series, especially since Max Scherzer isn't pitching. They're starting the reliever, and Max is pitching, Max Fried. So I feel like that would be our best opportunity, and then get Ian going against Max Scherzer. I feel like we'll have a real good shot.
Yeah.
We gotta stay out of. We can't run ourselves out of any outs on the base paths
Again.
and we gotta hit somebody other than Austin Riley and Freddie Freeman has to step up. Maybe Eddie Rosario. He's leading off. Dansby got to be good and got to be able to flip the lineup. But other than that, I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good series. I don't have like a lot of faith. I've said coming into the season, I felt like this was where our season was gonna end. But I feel like we have a really good shot of beating them. So.
Yeah. Just gotta play good fundamental baseball.
Right.
That's the name of the game.
I mean, for us, I picked the Braves to get to the World Series this year. I felt like this was y'all time, y'all moment, basically based off of last year and how it ended. So I'm not surprised to see y'all right here. And
I mean, I'm not surprised to see us here.
it also played out how I expected it. I thought y'all were good enough to get to this position. I thought y'all was good enough to get to the World Series. And my hate for the Dodgers run so deep, and I can't stand them, and I want them to lose. And I knew they was gonna be in this situation, so it all plays sense. I don't want the Dodgers to win anyway. So, and the Red Sox and Astros, can't believe I'm saying go Red Sox.
My only thing is everybody trying to make it seem like they have to go for the Red Sox so they can be against cheating, but the Red Sox cheated too.
They did.
Like they literally did the exact same thing. The next year, hired the same exact manager, and did the exact same thing.
I mean, I agree, but the Astros beat the Yankees.
The Red Sox beat the Yankees.
I'm talking about in the playoffs.
The Red Sox beat the Yankees in the
Not
playoffs.
this year. You talking about this year, right?
No, I'm saying that year. The year
And
that
this
the year they went to the World Series, they beat y'all in the wild card. And then they beat the Astros in the DS or the CS or something like that.
That's the wild card. The Astros beat us in position to go to the World Series.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's your
that's
reliever's fault for
Yeah.
throwing a fastball to Jose Altuve.
Yeah, but I mean,
Throw a ball.
oh man, it's just that one stung a little bit more than the wild card loss, you know.
I was like, bro, last night who threw a changeup to Carlos Correa with a tie game. What is wrong with you?
Hey, man. Anyway, we're going to move. The last thing we got in our weekly recap, the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, part 3. I think this was the best. Well, obviously it was the best of the trilogy, but this is the best heavyweight fight we've seen in a while. I think Wilder got knocked down a total of 4 times, and Fury was 4. But
Not in the fight, but total of the trilogies.
yeah. I think that Fury is just a better fighter. I mean, it's not too much you can say. Deontay Wilder ain't trying to hear that, but it is what it is. He showed over. He hasn't lost at all in the first time they tied. So, yeah, it's just gonna be interesting. And Anthony Joshua lost. Deontay Wilder, you need to get on that, bro.
That's definitely a good rebound fight.
All right.
This didn't surprise me. I told y'all going into this fight that they were selling excuses. They did exactly what I said that was going to happen as soon as Wilder lost. Oh, I was tired. I didn't get to train for real. Like, bro, just take the L, bro. Like, everybody doesn't get to win every fight.
No love.
It's okay, bro.
Even Tyson Fury, you got to draw.
Okay. Bro, it's not the end of the world because you lost. You'll be fine.
And boxing sense, I don't think
I
so.
mean, this should be the end of the world for him because I'm tired of hearing about it. But, whatever.
Hey, man. Man, gotta eat too.
Yeah.
Well, then eat quietly. Stop making excuses. Nobody wants to hear that.
I'm gonna make one excuse, but I think this should be justifiable in since it's wherever in combat sports, there's always weight divisions and stuff, and I know we have heavyweights and stuff like that, but we have light heavyweights and all of that. But if I'm Deontay Wilder and I'm coming in 6'7", 238 pounds, I shouldn't. The dude I'm fighting shouldn't be able to come. Well, he can't help his height, but he's gonna be 6'9", so he's coming in 6'9", 278 pounds. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the fight, you say he's tired. Why? Because you got a dude that weighs almost 60 pounds heavier.
Not my fault.
You know, it's not his fault. It's not your fault. But I'm saying, like, when it comes to just like the sport of boxing, that should not, you know.
So he didn't know that he could do that before he begged him to fight him, or?
I mean, I'm not justifying Deontay Wilder loss. I'm just speaking in a boxing principle that they should look into that and making like a split division when it gets to super heavyweight type thing, because I don't feel like you just pick your fights better.
Mm-hmm. Don't beg people who are severely bigger than you to fight.
But that's how you get paid.
It's not
that's
like
the sport.
UFC. Yeah, it's not like UFC where like even if you lose, you still gonna have a guaranteed fight. You gotta basically pick your fights.
Yeah, and then like in his case, the more dudes he knocked out, he had no choice but to fight Fury. Who else was gonna be able to get in the ring with him? And besides Anthony Joshua, but
fight Anthony Joshua.
I mean, and I don't believe that fight will be very interesting to watch because Anthony Joshua is lightweight. He's big and strong, but like he seems to go down and fall in pressure moments. I think Deontay Wilder can really knock him out. But at the same time, if Deontay Wilder go in there with his mind still on them L's that he took from Fury or overlooking Joshua, he can get knocked out again. If he lose to Joshua the first fight, his career is done.
Seems like somebody more his size. That's what it sounds like he needs.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua is more of his size. I think Deontay Wilder is taller than Anthony Joshua. I won't say bigger. They probably around the same weight. But that's what I'm saying. Like Fury's bigger than everybody. Like the fight we see with Deontay Wilder and Fury, you will not get that with Anthony Joshua. He would knock him out in the first round, second round, with ease. He's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's gonna be 270, 260, fighting all of these folks, you need to put him in a super heavyweight division. I'm pretty sure there's some big boxers out there that you can get in and have a nice little super heavyweight division, along with a heavyweight division, along with a light heavyweight division, just like they do in UFC and stuff like that. I just don't think you can put a lot of fight. I think Deontay Wilder came into this fight more prepared. He came in with a better game plan. He was doing a lot of jabs into the midsection hits when I rewatched the fight. Mm-hmm. He wasn't just trying to go for the knockout.
That's where he started, but then he got
tired. Yep. And then when you get tired and you can't really just keep doing technique, you just swinging. And that's
back to what you revert to.
And that's how he got knocked out, because he was gassed and he was just swinging. And then Tyson Fury just knocked him on the side of the head and he was gone. And I'm like, that could have been avoided if a dude that wasn't 60 pounds heavier than you and holding you. You know, every time you throw a couple of jabs, he holding you. That's gonna weigh on you. That's a competitive advantage. That's like basically PEDs.
It is.
Literally.
Well, we're gonna move on to Genius or BS. Kyrie Irving, this man here, he said he's basically, well, first the net said he's not going to be able to participate until he's able to fully participate, meaning he can't skip the games that he's not able to play, i.e. in New York or California. And Kyrie said he ain't going for that. He said he's not getting the vaccine. He also said he's not retiring, so I don't really know where Kyrie stands at this point. The man said he Le'Veon Bell.
But he ain't gonna fall off like that.
Hey man, he made a personal choice. You know, they say choices come with consequences. So at this point, we gotta wait and see. Like, we don't really know what's gonna happen with COVID. We don't know where. I don't know. They did say they're not giving him an extension though. So at this point, it looks like it's James Harden and KD. But I think that they have. That's enough to win a championship. They were KD's big toe away from going to the finals last year. So, I mean, I feel like with every I ain't gonna say with every team is guaranteed, but with this type of talent, once you play together, the more you play together, the better it gets. So I feel like they're gonna be a lot more efficient this year. So, I mean, I already picked them to go to the finals either way, with or without Kyrie. So, but yeah, how y'all feel about the whole Kyrie situation and the Nets and everything going on there?
I feel like it was genius from.
No, I never said where it was genius.
Oh, we in the genius segment.
Yeah, I think it's genius.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's genius. I feel like everybody was basically saying last year the reason why they didn't win was because they didn't have chemistry, even though they were up 2-1 without chemistry. But who am I? You know. So I feel like if you want to build chemistry, it doesn't make sense to have somebody coming in and out for away and home games and trying to build consistent playoff chemistry. Right. So, I mean, I get it, and it makes sense. So, I mean, they just put the ball in Kyrie's court. They didn't say, you have to get it by this date, and if you don't get it, you can never come back. They just said, well, you made your choice. We're going to make our choice. We respect you. You got to respect us. Keep that same energy. So, I mean, I feel like it's genius.
Genius from the Brooklyn Nets perspective. You got an organization you're trying to run. You got a team that's trying to be focused on the championship. Everybody there is in their own lane. They chose what they wanted to do. They committed to their stance of playing a game, and they want to go out there and win championship. So you want to ride with those people, and just understand you don't want nobody in and out the lineup. So that's genius on their part. But when I want to get to, and with Kyrie, I don't think he's going to retire. I think he could be traded. There's multiple teams out here that don't have those regulations that he can still be a part of and still be himself. But I want to get to people calling him selfish. I want to get to people saying that he's stupid and he's all about himself and he's not committed to the game and all of that. I just want people to know that when somebody make a personal choice, it's about them. It's not about a game. Life is so much more than a game. And if you think that someone who already made $200+ million in their life is concerned about a game when it comes to their personal choices, it shows more about you than him, really. Because y'all counting other people's pockets, saying how much money somebody lost and stuff like that. You don't know how much money that man has. It's not your money anyway. And 9 times out of 10, if you would be in that situation, you wouldn't even know what you would do. So you be speaking on people, and I just think that's really stupid to call somebody selfish for thinking of something of himself and not just a game. And then if he said, like on his IG Live, I was told we wouldn't have to be forced to get the vaccine. I was prepared to just do the COVID test, the COVID protocols, come in, do what I have to do, follow the rules, and keep it a day. Then all of a sudden you switch up and telling me I have to put this in my body and I have to do this, or you gonna make me do this and that. That's not what y'all just told me. I can understand why somebody wouldn't want to do that. You just told someone one thing and then you switch it up and do the next when y'all already had an agreement on something. Just the same. Just like essential workers. Last year was heroes, and then y'all firing now and they terrorists now because y'all made them work through something, and now they don't want to get something. Now they looked at differently, and you let them go. I don't know. I don't like how that's turning out. So I commend Kyrie for standing 10 toes on his deal. People look at the sport like that's just his life. Like, that's not just life. It's bigger things in this world than just a game.
I think people get it confused just because you're a fan of a team that you feel like that team owes you something. Man, my mom told me, she's been telling me that my whole life, nobody owes you anything. And people get that confused. Just because you spend your money on somebody, just because you spend your money on something, does not mean that they owe you anything. People do stuff because they want to, not because they owe you anything.
Yeah.
Now, sticking right with basketball, we're going to talk about Mr. Ben Simmons. This man, Doc Rivers, cuts out Rich Paul in his own house. But Ben Simmons is staying in Philadelphia. I think it's genius because you get to build up your, what do you call it? Your
trade value?
Yeah, trade value. So people can see where you are at certain points of the season, see what their team need, and would it be worth making a deal to do it? So I think it's genius that they bring him back instead of trying to deal him before the season. And then you never know. You might be able to get something better. It might end up being a better trade for both sides. So, yeah, I think it's genius. How y'all feel about this?
I mean, I feel like it's genius, I guess. I mean, he didn't really have any other options. He could sit at the house and not make money, or he could come in and make money. I mean, at least he stood on what he believed in, I guess.
10 toes down.
Nah, I'm all about standing for what you believe in. I don't care about nobody pushing their narratives and all. So I'm also agreeing with Ben Simmons. Like, I agree with his stance and not wanting to be there. I agree with his stance and not wanting to come and talk to them. Like, you gave up on me and totally disrespected me on TV and want me to come back just for you to trade me anyway. Like, hell out of here, man. Like, what is wrong? Like, nah, I agree with you.
It'd be different if, like, they needed him, but...
I mean, they do need him.
They do need him, and that's why I'm saying, you know you need me, and you going to go out there and disrespect me like that, you know what I'm saying? I know what I know. I know that I didn't fulfill my part. You know, I know I messed up, but I ain't say nothing about nobody else. But all y'all out there just talking about me, just throwing me up under the bus. And then when I say I don't want to be here, now y'all want to act like y'all my friend. And then when I like, nah, forget the fake love. Now Joel Embiid and Danny Green out there, we just worried about the people that's here now, and we not asking him to shoot. We just asking him to come and do his job. Now, like Ben Simmons done been calling all of this stuff out, you know, and he just got to come back so he can boost his trade value. It's a smart decision, genius for both of them. You know, I don't want to be here. Y'all trying to trade me. Let me just come in here. I know y'all think I'm trash, but y'all know I'm not. I'm going to come in here and get y'all to a top 3 seed while I'm here, and y'all trade me off to Portland.
I think the things that were said were true, but if I were in Ben Simmons' shoes, like if that was me, I'd be ready to fight too. So, I mean, I get it.
It's a conversation you have in the locker room. Right. It's a team thing. It's like, say we have our podcast and we have a discussion or a situation we got to discuss. We're not going to get on here and just say it.
Right.
You know, wait till after this and then be like, you know, what's up, dude? That's certain things you have conversations.
Hey, man. The internet has messed everything up. People don't know how to talk. People don't know how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the women in my life, my mom, my sister. They made sure we always knew how to communicate. So, yeah. You got anything else on Ben Simmons?
Go Ben Simmons. I'm rocking my Ben Simmons jerseys next week.
Yeah. Our last Genius or BS topic. Coach Saban said that the media doesn't think Alabama is elite anymore. I mean, I get what you're doing. You're trying to fire your team up. But we haven't looked elite this year at all. In any game. Let me think. Maybe
Mercer.
Ole Miss
Not
game.
even that game.
A little bit. They scored at the end. Yeah, the Ole Miss game was the best game we've looked this year. I mean, I don't count Mercer. That shit don't count. that was basically so the fans could see our first home game.
That was the second home game.
No, we played what's the name? Here, remember? We played what's the name?
I thought Southern Miss was the first home game.
No, we played Southern. I think that was week 3.
I think it's genius. I feel like in the few times in every interview that I've seen of Coach Saban and the 4 times I've met him in person, I can say that his definition of elite is different than most people's definition. So I would say that the media doesn't see them as his definition of elite. I feel like his would be the top team that no team will have any business beating. And the media doesn't see that because we're not that team. So, I feel like it was genius. It sent a message to the team. It's really on them to see how they respond. We got Mississippi State today. We got to send a message and go forward with it.
Well, first, does Nick Saban talking about just in general, or are you talking about right now how they've been looked at?
I think he's saying this season the media has the way the season has gone, the media is writing us off.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say BS because, for one, this team is Alabama. This team was still down. This team was down at halftime and still was an 11-point favorite to come back against Texas A&M, and they only lost by 6. No, they only lost by 3 points. Let's be real. This team is just finding its way, getting together. That's all it is. This team was hyped up at the beginning of the season, preseason number 1, was predicted to go undefeated, was predicted to have the best defense all time. Whoop the whoop the whoop. This team lost to Texas A&M after really coming back and still playing on their C game, and lost on the field goal and only dropped the 5th. And the rest of the schedule do not look tough at all, unless you want to continue to say Auburn might be a trap game, which I don't believe. I believe Alabama will find its form. I'm looking at Alabama like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season. Kind of slow to start the season, but then once it got to that midway point, they just rolled, and it was over with. They looked unbeatable. And I think the same.
I said I hope that's the case.
I think it's the same thing. Nick Saban just said that to boost his team up and whatnot. And obviously, when you lose a couple games and when you struggling a little bit, they gonna say you not elite. I think that was just a BS thing because everybody knows Alabama is still Alabama, and then it's like that was just something slow to say right now because you're struggling. Like, of course, no one's gonna look at you as elite when you're struggling. You just came off a loss, like Captain Obvious. Like, y'all Alabama, y'all gonna be all right. That's right. People still think Alabama's gonna get right in the playoffs. People still think Alabama's gonna win the championship. The only people that you don't hear say that is UGA fans, and the only reason we hear that a lot is because we unfortunately stuck in Atlanta.
I hate Georgia fans. Yeah. Moving right along to our Ozzy the Chipper segment. This is the segment where we give a topic and then rate it from 1 to 10 based on a player's number. Our first one is levels of concern for the Lakers offseason. We did go 0-6 preseason. Well, yeah, offseason, preseason. I think I'm at 0. I don't think this time, really, honestly, the basketball season doesn't really start until Christmas. All of those games up until Christmas are pretty much preseason. And basketball is all about getting runs and playing together and getting chemistry, like Jordan was saying earlier. That's how you get hot. That's how teams can have mediocre regular season and be like a 3rd, 4th seed and make it to the finals because it's all about runs. It's all about when you get hot, when you start playing well. So I'm not really too concerned. I'm at Russell Westbrook 0 right now, even though it's Ozzy the Chipper.
I'm gonna go LA theme Reggie Bush 5. I feel like if you would have asked me at the beginning, like of the week, I probably would have went like 3 or 4. But I guess this last game was supposed to be their dress rehearsal game or whatever, and LeBron played all the way to the 4th quarter, and they still lost to the Kings. I'm not finna sit here and act like the preseason is the end all be all. I've only watched 2 games of the preseason. Well, 1.5 games of the preseason. So I mean, it's cool. I did pick the Heat to go to the finals the year that we went based off of our preseason. So I mean, I'm not finna act like it don't mean anything, but I feel like it's a weird fit, and they were trying to see how it fit in the preseason. So they were taking these games serious, and it looked awkward. So it's something to keep your eye on. It doesn't mean everything, but it doesn't mean nothing as well. That's just my thought.
It was 1 3/4. We left at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I mean, I didn't watch most of the first time.
I'm gonna go with like Cam Newton 1. It's the preseason. Russell Westbrook turned the ball over like 9 times in one of the games and went on an interview. Like, it's preseason. I turned it over 19 times, 15 times.
Hey, man. He does turn it over in the regular season like that.
He do. So, obviously, guys, it's a weird fit. It's a bunch of athletes, real dynamic players. You just don't know how it's just going to all flow together. LeBron did have 30 the other night, and Russell Westbrook was close to triple-double. think this team is going to be good. I don't believe it's a regular season team. I believe it's a playoff team built to win playoff games, and that's when you're really going to see this team flourish just due to experience and knowledge and just all around talent. Like LeBron been in a moment, of course. Carmelo been in a moment, ready for more. You know, Anthony Davis been there already. Just got to stay healthy. Russell Westbrook did everything in the league. He just needs that one chip. I think that's when you're going to see it all come together, because then the focus is going to shift. Yeah. And you're going to really see that team, no matter how we might look at the fit, you're going to see it come together because they all coming with the purpose now. They know what time it is. But during the regular season, I think you're just going to see a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be a lot of episodes when Jordan's coming in here saying, this is the team you're talking about going to the finals. This is the team. LeBron is the GOAT. Da, 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 da. We're going to have a lot of episodes this season about like that. I expect it. But when the playoffs come, I think we're going to be looking at it like, dang, LeBron really the GOAT? All that talk about Russell Westbrook was none and void. And Anthony Davis, shout out to you for actually being healthy. And shout out to Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan. They actually looked very good in the preseason, hold it down the back end. I mean the front end.
Hey, man. It's going to be real funny when you come in here. Well, nobody expected any of them to get hurt. I mean, who would have expected that? I mean, they did look good for when they was healthy. So,
huh?
He's saying we're going to get hurt.
I mean, that's not going to be the only reason they are not going to be successful, but that will be part of it.
I guess. Anyway, ESPN secured the rights to the wild card games for the next 4 seasons, I think it is.
5, I think.
Yeah. Well, so now the wild card games are going to be on Monday. I don't even know how this is going to work. Like, do you know how it's going to work?
It's going to be 1 game on Monday.
Oh. I mean,
wait, was that format you sent really how it goes? Like 2 home games, and then 1-1-1?
No, that was for baseball.
Yeah. Wait. Which one is this?
We're talking about for the NFL wild card games. They're gonna have 2 games on Sunday, 3 games on Monday. Sunday. 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, 1 game on Monday.
Oh, I guess it's kind of at a disadvantage because one team got to play. They got 1 less day to prepare, but the NFL take Tuesday off anyway. So, I mean, they would still have that Tuesday off, I guess. But I don't know, because the next week somebody might have a Saturday game.
It'd be a Sunday.
I mean, I'm sure the wild card game would have
if you play on Monday, you would play the next Sunday.
Right? I know that. I'm just saying. How does that work with the off day in the middle of the week? But yeah, I guess it's cool.
Is that I'm sorry. Is that to just give us more football at a time?
I guess. I have no clue what their reasoning is.
I guess you get one more game that you get. because ESPN is part of the deal. So you get one more.
The Saturday games.
You still get 2 Saturday games, 3 Sunday games, and then that 1 Monday game.
It's a lot of football.
So from Ozzy the Chipper, I say like Derek Carr 4. Nobody has the number 4. Derek Carr 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Justin Fields 1. I feel like this is stupid. It makes no sense. Why are we doing this?
Money.
I mean, y'all love clamoring about, oh, we need to make the game more safe. We need to do all of this to make the game more safe. Let's make it safer. The thing that's making this NFL more appealing is we're making it safe for the kids. That's what's gonna bring in eyes. It's the fact that it's safe. But y'all are doing everything to make it not safe. We're having 1 more game. We're having extra playoff teams. We're having games on literally every day of the week except Tuesday and Wednesday. We have a wild card game on a Monday, and then you are basically having less time to prepare for your next week's game. So what is the point? Like, who does this serve? Like, this is stupid.
Not to mention, John Gruden also was an opponent of player safety in those emails.
I never saw that email. How did that work?
I guess like the new rules they was implementing to like he was against it. I guess he was one of those we making the league soft type guys. And he was bashing Roger Goodell.
I mean, but never mind. To be honest, I don't even disagree with him on that one.
In certain ways. Yeah.
It seems like we're literally just pandering at this point.
Yeah, everything's a foul and everything's targeting, especially in college.
At least you don't get ejected like you do in college.
Then get suspended. What, the first half next game?
Yep. I think that's how we lost to Texas A&M because Malachi Moore. Anyway,
that's not how we lost.
I'm just saying, the dude who was going off, that's who Malachi Moore would have been matched up against.
Oh, y'all had someone out for
for like the third play.
Anyway, we literally run the ball 3 more times in the red zone. If we run the ball at all in the red zone, we win that game.
I mean, I know that. We know Bill O'Brien. Was trash, bro. Anyway, how we get here? We were talking about the NFL and their wild card game.
Wish you had a video of Tom Brady cussing him out on the sideline.
No cap. No cap.
That was funny. Go ahead.
How intimidating are the Chiefs? I'm going with Russ again. Russell Westbrook, 0. Remember, I think Jordan said this on Twitter last week. He was like, y'all tried to convince me that the Chiefs were a dynasty. Bro, the media do be tricking us, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have 1 Super Bowl when it's all said and done. They gave Mahomes all that money. Crazy. So, how y'all feel about the Chiefs?
Yeah. I can't think of a football player with 3. They just changed their name. Yeah.
Who got 3?
Trent Richardson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Trent Richardson 3. I feel like I've always felt like they were overhyped. So this doesn't really surprise me. But they do still have Patrick Mahomes, they do still have Tyreek Hill, and they have Travis Kelce. So I feel like they can bounce back. Maybe not this year, but I feel like as far as being a consistent playoff contender, they're really not that far because they never had a great defense. So, I mean, I feel like if they can find another solid number 2 receiver that can replace what they lost with Sammy Watkins, I feel like they'll be in a good position. But as of right now, I feel like the Clyde Edwards-Helaire draft pick was kind of a mistake. I can't really remember who the other receivers were at the time, but they definitely should have went with another receiver because Mecole Hardman wasn't it. And they did have a lot of injuries with Sammy Watkins, and I can't remember who else got hurt, but it was another receiver that got hurt that year. So I felt like that one was a mistake, but I feel like they're not that far, and their division isn't that tough. They really just have to worry about the Chargers. I don't see the Broncos being that good either this year or in the future. So I feel like it's really just them and the Chargers battling for 1 and 2. So I feel like as of right now, it makes sense to pile on to them, but it's gonna be a time where they're gonna bounce back. I don't necessarily see another Super Bowl run coming anytime soon within the next 3 or 4 years, but I mean the Patriots went 10 years without going to the Super Bowl, so can't really knock them on that.
This is true.
I'm going a LSU running back, David Price 3. And if you don't know who that is, I didn't either until today. This guy rushed for 287 yards against my Florida Gators and single-handedly beat us. This guy. I'm not worried. I think this team is still going to make the playoffs. The Raiders is going to fall back. The Broncos still going to be competitive. I think they're going to get in the playoffs as well. And the Chargers is the Chargers, but Patrick Mahomes is still a top 3 quarterback in this league. Even though people say I hate him, I really do give him his respect. They still had Patrick Mahomes. They had Tyreek Hill. They had Travis Kelce. They still had those 3 guys, and those 3 guys were definitely winning football games and regular season games. And they will always pose a threat to come back with them weapons. But the defense is just so trash. Like, that's 2A high school football right there. Defense they be playing at times. And that's going to be their Achilles heel for the Super Bowl. So I don't think they're very threatening to win no Super Bowl. But to be a formidable force and still be a second-round team in the playoffs, that still, or had that possibility to, catch fire on the offensive end, yeah, I still think they have some type of threat.
And that concludes our Ozzy the Chipper segment. We're going to move on to Penalty Kick, which is our segment where we rapid fire through some topics. My man Zion got hurt again. Bruh, just don't surprise nobody. He weighs too much to do the things he's asked to do. So he's going to have to slim down. Amen. And ain't really too much more we can say on that. How y'all feel about Zion?
Everybody called me a hater when I said that he was Blake Griffin with a jump shot. Even though now everybody's saying that Blake Griffin is really fast. So I don't get how that was disrespect. But, that's neither here nor there. I told y'all that he was not going to be that good because he gets hurt a lot. But I definitely would have taken him, Ja Morant, number 1. And who's right? It looks like I'm right.
Hey, man.
I'm going to go the route of now, Zion, this is where you and your family shut the hell up. You barely play, and then you come in here trying to demand trades to New York, and like stuff like this is not going to help your case. You mad at the organization and stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna get on that part. Like, look at you. The season ain't even start, and they already say you look bigger and your foot broken. It's like, come on, dude. But you mad at the organization. What are you putting in to better yourself? What are you putting in to have that cliche to even walk to them and be like, trade me to New York or trade me in general? You didn't do nothing to deserve that. Like, you could say the Pelicans organization is trash, which they are, but then they could look at you and be like, what are you like like we're still trash because you're still trash. Help me help you type thing. If you actually perform better, you probably help us be able to trade you to at least give us some more assets to replace you or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to focus on that. You got to hurry up and get your body right and get in shape and hit the court and do what you do. I believe in your talents, unlike, Jordan don't really believe in you, man.
That's not true.
Now, I mean, like, I'm talking about to the hype that he got. That I do believe
I just said that he shouldn't be the number one pick.
I'm talking about the hype. Like, you don't believe, like, the hype.
Yes, I don't believe he's the number 1 pick. Yes,
don't believe
correct.
the hype.
Which means you don't believe in him the way I do. Which means I do believe he could fulfill those that number 1 pick role and actually lead a franchise to the promised land. I don't know if it might be. I don't feel
like leading a franchise is necessarily solely on the number 1 pick. I feel like number 2 picks also lead franchises.
Anybody in the lottery has that. I mean, just because you're not.
I'm just saying I don't think
he
was the best player in that draft. That's what a number 1 pick is.
I mean, I don't know. Ja Morant is of course he's played more games and performed better than Zion because he's been healthy. But I feel like in the time that Zion has played, he looks. I mean, it's picking hairs.
One is better.
It's picking hairs. Like, I don't know. Like, if Zion is really healthy, I don't know, because I think he can do more than Ja defensively.
Okay. I disagree.
I mean, you can, but those are facts.
It's not.
So defense is not. So you can't look at the film and see who have better defense. That's not a fact.
That's not what I'm arguing.
That's more also a opinion.
How?
Looking at the film and saying who is better is definitely an opinion.
You can't. Your opinion of
so
who looks better.
At, they have.
I mean, if
we can get into the analytics, I ain't want to get that deep, but I'm just saying,
but that would be more of a factual
argument.
I'm instead of looking at film. That's more opinion based. and subjective.
I don't even have the analytics
you know
with me,
how
but I'm
people say-
95% sure they would show that Zion's a better defender than Ja.
You know what? You know how people say the eye test? The eye test is all opinion. That's how that person feels.
Agreed.
Literally.
That's what we're talking about.
But I just said though, like I don't have the analytics right now, but I guarantee, not guarantee, 95% sure that Zion is a better defender than Ja. The analytics would say.
I will hope so.
I'm just saying. That's why I said he will be a better player.
Anyway, Zach Ertz got traded to the Cardinals right after playing Thursday for Philly. The man was crying in his post news press conference. He said this is where he wanted to be, but yeah, welcome to the NFL, sir. They've been saying they was gonna trade you since the end of last season. So, I mean, I get you want to be there, but at this point, you can probably have a chance to play for a Super Bowl again. Yeah, because I know you already won one, but Arizona's gonna be a contender. They got a young quarterback. They got solid receivers. They have a solid team. I'm not picking them to go to the Super Bowl this year, but they're gonna be there. Yeah, so I think the trade was good for everybody involved if Zach Ertz performed.
I like Zach Ertz. He was my fantasy tight end before Darren Waller became my fantasy tight end. And I didn't realize he was 31 years old. But I feel like it was a good trade for everybody involved. I feel like Philly probably could have got more, but he is 31, like I said. So it's not really too many teams beating down the door to get Zach Ertz. So you got to get what you can get. And he is a free agent in the offseason. So now was the time to trade him. And he doesn't really fit the timeline of what they're trying to do. Plus, they have Dallas Goedert behind him. So I feel like it was a good trade for everybody.
Zach Ertz went to sleep 2-4 and woke up 5-0. I seen a meme like that. I think it's a good fit for him. He loved Philly. He was one of the key factors in the Super Bowl run there. Like he's forever loved there. Like Brady said, he was crying last season because he knew it was coming to the end. At the end of the season, he knew it was coming to the end, and it's okay. Like if you have to, if something comes to the end and they say, okay, this is done, but we finna send you to another Super Bowl contender where they're undefeated right now. You finna play with the second best receiver in the league and one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now. Wouldn't you be happy? So I think it's a good deal for Arizona and for Philly because they loading up and they be able to draft some talent this offseason coming up. And for the Cardinals, I just like what they have going on over there. I won't say they're a Super Bowl team. I still feel like the Packers would beat them. Still feel like the Buccaneers would beat them. Still feel like, they're a top 5 team, but I don't think they're a team to get to the Super Bowl just yet. And Kyler Murray resurrected A.J. Green's career. So that's cool to see, too.
And Zaire Wade signed with the Jazz, G League team. I think it's good. It's like, hey, man, when I was coming up, I was all for college because that's what was pushed on me. But if you just going just because it's a requirement to get to the league, you might as well go ahead and jump on it early. At this point, your last name being Wade had a lot to do with that, but it's not the point. If you have that opportunity, take it. That's how I feel about it. I mean, college, you're going to have the opportunity to always go to college, or it's going to always be there. You have your peak athleticism, this time is now, so, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I think it was great. Shout out to Zaire Wade.
I felt like it was a good move. I feel like if you have a connection to something, you might as well use it. So,
Gentilo.
But you also got to take advantage of it and don't just waste other opportunities. He's not just wasting. He's not a 40-year-old kid trying to get into the G League, wasting somebody who actually has an opportunity to make it to the league spot. He actually has an opportunity. But, I feel like it was good. Now it's up to him to prove that he's not just wasting somebody else's spot.
Yeah, I think it's real cool Zaire Wade journey has been a little bit different than what you see like LeBron James kids, Carmelo, Chris Paul, their kids' journey is. He kind of been like everywhere. I really don't know how old he is. I think
19.
he 19. I thought he was a little bit older than that. But I guess his journey is a little bit different. But he's a talented left-handed shooting guard who could play point. He has some height on him. I think he just got to continue to develop it to his body and stuff. And if you a fan of Wade, I was always a fan of Wade. Like if you've seen him all the way from his days at Marquette, he kind of developed into his body as he was in the league. So he probably has the same genes. He's very athletic. He's very skilled. I support fathers helping their sons, and if his part ownership got him into that G League opportunity, I'm with it. Just like LeVar Ball with his boys. Like any way you can get your sons recognition to enhance themselves, I'm with it. And from all accounts, Zaire seems committed and focused. I root for the guy. I would love for, I think, Zaire Wade and Bronny them to be in the league and run the next generation. So that's something cool I can have talks with my son about. Like,
yeah, that's right. Our last penalty kick topic. Speaking of LeVar Ball, the middle son Jello, did he sign with the Hornets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nah, the G League into non-guaranteed.
I thought he got like with the actual Hornet.
I seen on the link it was a G League non-guaranteed contract.
Maybe he signed to the Hornets organization, but it's a G League contract.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, like baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. I mean, as long as he got the opportunity. At this point, you ain't really. If your foot's in the door, then you always got a job. I mean, a shot. So
I just don't understand what's going on though. Like he's balling out. I seen the film. Dude can hoop. And Hornets is horrible. You don't got no talent.
Maybe they waiting to see how trash they are during the season. You know, some people. You know how in baseball they wait till the season to call some people up. I think it might be that.
Or maybe you just don't want that distraction early in the season.
It could be that too.
I think it's deeper than just that. I think it is, if you watch it, hoop, Bro can play in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
And if you look at the Charlotte Hornets roster, when you get after LaMelo, Mikal Bridges, and who's the other dude they have? It's another dude.
I thought Mikal Bridges played for the Suns.
Not Mikal Bridges. No, it is a Bridges that.
I know who you're talking
it's
about.
a Bridges that played the dude. You ever seen the dunks on social media where they be Bridges? You never seen them?
Only dude I know from the Hornets is PJ Washington, dude.
Dang, I don't know. I think it's a Mikal Bridges round. There's no signal in here, so I can't look it up right now. But
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I was just asking, doesn't Mikal Bridges play for the Suns?
Mikal Bridges does play for the Suns.
Yes, but it's a different Bridges. Basically, all I said is it's only like 2-3 players on the Hornets. There's no reason. There's no reason that Jello shouldn't be on that roster, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a good signing. I feel like there were a lot of people who were saying that LeVar Ball was crazy when he said that all 3 of his sons was going to be in the league. And now they was definitely thought he was crazy when they said Jello was going to make it because they thought that he wasn't good enough to make it. And here we are. So shout out to LeVar Ball.
Yes, sir. In our last segment, the pick the ending, which comes from our group chat, everybody's group chat, not the NASP group chat. The name of it is Gruden's Lost Files. The question this week is, would you take, if you had to start a franchise today, would you take Josh Allen or Justin Herbert? Coming out of college, and if they were both coming out at the same time, and I had to pick one of them, I would go Justin Herbert because he played tougher competition. Nobody, because at the end of the day, they're pretty much the same. They have big arms. They're able to fit passes in tight windows. It did take Josh Allen a little bit longer to develop, but that's not what we're talking about. At the end of the day, it will probably come down to competition. And Wyoming really, what they playing, the WAC or the MAC, one of those, AC, conferences. So I think I think we will all agree that the Pac-12 has the better competition. So I think it would probably, for me, it would have to come down to that. So I would go Justin Herbert. And as we've seen, he developed quicker. So.
Well, that's also probably due to him playing in Wyoming as well. I do give him that. You know, probably.
Know what I'm saying? If we were starting a franchise today and we had to pick between these two, they were both coming out of their respective colleges, but they were coming out at the same time. I would have to go Justin Herbert because it would come down to me for competition level.
Yeah, I would go Josh Allen because they aren't coming out of college anymore. They're coming out of the NFL right now. And
I thought the question was if we had to start a franchise.
The question was if we had to start a franchise, who would we start with, Josh Allen or Justin Herbert? Josh Allen has been in the league for 4 years. Justin Herbert has been in the league for this is his second. So I feel like at this point, Josh Allen is not head and shoulders above Justin Herbert, but he's better and he plays in a tougher division. He coming into the league, he played in a tougher division. I feel like other than the I feel like the Dolphins, if they can ever get their quarterback situation solidified, they're going to be a tougher team. The Patriots have the pieces. They just need Mac Jones to actually get progression, I guess, like to progress. And the Jets have pieces. They're not a terrible team. They just can't put it all together in one single game. So I feel like, for me, I feel like Josh Allen is bigger. He's has a stronger arm that can play in elements and doesn't require a dome. I feel like you can put him in pretty much any situation and he'll thrive. I feel like even with lesser weapons, he was playing well, which gave them the confidence to go out and get a Stephon Diggs, to go out and get a Emmanuel Sanders. So I feel like for me, all of those reasons, I would go Josh Allen. Plus, he's faster, so he's more agile, so you can game plan more around his skill set.
I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert. Think he just got more upside than Josh Allen. He hit the ground running coming into the league, and he seems not to. And he hasn't missed a step coming into his second season. Wow. If we talking about NFL, then like Josh Allen took a minute to progress into who he is now, and a lot of that was based off the talent that the Bills surrounded him with. Meanwhile, Justin Herbert just came in and just elevated this whole Chargers franchise as a big difference. And I feel like
Josh Allen Justin Herbert definitely stepped into a team that had just went to the AFC Championship, if not the second round. They lost to the Patriots.
The Chargers?
Yes, they
went to the AFC Championship
when they lost to the Patriots that year. When they let go of Phillip Rivers. The year right before they let go of Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, there wasn't an AFC Championship.
It might have been the second round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he elevated them because Phillip Rivers was, of course, Phillip Rivers.
But they were a consistent playoff contending team, though.
No, made them better. And then, like, no,
how did he make them better? They hadn't even made the playoffs.
No. Couldn't have been no second round because Herbert was a top 10 pick.
You said 2 years before.
2 years. So
2 years, not the year before Herbert got there.
That's why they got rid of Phillip Rivers.
Okay, so even
they had the talent, but he wasn't getting the job done.
Okay, he got. Oh, then after that, they got their coaching situations. Then they was not getting the job done, and then he came in and performed. That's what I'm saying. Like, he took the reins over. And would you take Justin Herbert now and Phillip Rivers the way he was ending his career? Which one would you take? You, of course, you would take Justin. So
I don't feel like he elevated their talent, though. That's my point.
Elevated the Chargers organization. I mean, gave them hope, gave them a franchise quarterback just like that, and picked up from where they left off. They got rid of the coaching situation they had where they wasn't fulfilling
the
the
playoffs
game.
last year.
I just said Jordan just big.
I don't see them
Like,
picking up where they left off if they lost more games.
at the end of the
he's
day,
saying that he thought that when Tyrod got down hurt, and Justin Herbert was forced in, they were gonna go backwards. He actually played well.
yes,
he won Rookie of
he
the
did,
Year.
and it wasn't his fault they wasn't winning games. He had them single-handedly in position to win all of those games. It was what's his name? Who was the coach?
Lindsey.
No, the black guy.
Lynn?
Lynn.
Anthony Lynn?
Yeah,
Anthony Lynn. That wasn't calling the good games to put them in situations to capitalize and actually get the dub.
Dang.
But Justin Herbert.
So is coaching not calling plays to capitalize and not quarterback play? That's what you're saying? I just wanted to get you on record. So
it's a little
in
bit of
this
both.
situation, it's not the coach's fault. It's not the quarterback not playing well. It's the coach's fault for not putting the quarterback in the right situation.
Because
I just wanted to make sure that's what you're saying.
Because at times the quarterback could.
So yes or no?
And in that situation, yes. Because at the same time.
I'll just
It's
remember
a
this
game.
for next year.
It's
I'll
a
just
game.
remember
That's why
this
everybody. That's why
another segment.
That's why people get
gonna
fired.
come up.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you have a coach. You have a quarterback. Sometimes the quarterback mess up. Sometimes the coach mess up. That's what happens. The coach ain't put the team in
All
the
I'm
right
saying
situation.
is just make
I'm
sure you
saying.
keep the same energy.
For who?
Well, when we get to that bridge, we'll get
That
there.
man gonna have suspense. Be like, I'm bringing back. See, I got you.
Good class. Well, that concludes another episode of your favorite podcast, Not Another Sports Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon. And make sure you follow me on all those social media sites. Said Rob was there.
Oh, don't talk about you. Talking about Justin Fields.
No, that's not what I was talking about. But
Justin.
good try.
Hey, I had to think about who you talking about.
You're getting warmer, buddy.
I'm not going to tell him why. I already did my part.
Well, yeah, this is Jordan. You can follow me on Twitter at @this_guy11, on Instagram at @_thisguy11. You can follow the sports pages, Facebook and Instagram, Not Another Sports Podcast, on Twitter, N_A_S_podcast. YouTube, Cool Telly, every Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, audio. Wherever you listen to podcasts, Not Another Sports Podcast. If you listen to us on Spotify, make sure you take the time to answer the questions that we have. It'll basically be to pick the ending question over again. You can just leave your response, and we'll share the best response on the next episode.
Yes, sir.
And that's it for me.
And we just want to thank you guys for all of the support, and thank you guys for staying in tune with us. You know, Not Enough Sports Podcast is going to be global one day.
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Kevin. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Vice City Kevo. And now I do my part, right?
There you go.
Wow. I almost had a whole episode and there was no mishaps, no nothing to get to this part. And forget the script. But with all that being said, guys, yeah, for real, thank you for all y'all support out here. You know, we just trying to get this off the ground every day. And shout out to Cool TV and everybody that supports the game. Yes. And with all that being said, y'all be safe out here. Wash your hands.
Lavate los manos.
Don't fall for any agendas being pushed out here.
Never.
Stay safe.
Always.
Black Lives Matter.
Every time.
Go Gators.
Roll Tide.